its thing and actually work. There we are. Okay, we are back here on our big broadcast, coast to coast and border to border on iHeartRadio today. AMFM247.com. You can find us on TuneIn as well. And, of course, 24/7 at JiggyJaguar.com. Live videos on Twitch, Periscope, and Facebook. That is old copy. Periscope doesn't exist anymore because of Elon. I wish he would bring it back. 250 radio stations across the country and around the world. Thanks for joining us here on our big program. And you can also find our videos on BitChute, Rumble, YouTube when it allows, on Facebook, as well as many others. We have got a great guest with us today. He joins us live as live can get. Go ahead and give me a brief introduction on yourself, my friend. Tell us a bit about yourself.
It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Jeff Szur. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of an awesome company called Altitude Water. Altitude Water makes machines that make pure drinking water from the air. That's right.
That's pure, awesome.
Yeah, it really is. Pure drinking water from the air. Usually people will say if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is, but not in this case. We're actually in over 60 countries. We have our machines operating and helping save lives at disaster relief sites like Maui. We just finished a disaster relief trailer for the Mind Army in South Florida. We're getting ready to rock and roll with that out in the field, which is going to be a lot of fun, educating people on a new way to provide water, electrical, communications to disaster relief. So it's an honor to talk about it. I was really pleased to be invited to be on this awesome show and have some fun.
Well, at some point, I think you've got my email address. Shoot me an email when and in fact we may talk off air about this because I had an idea. So Jeff, why did you come up with this concept?
My father and I, 15 years ago, I sold my restaurants, and my dad sold his oil wells, and we were both liquid at the same time. And he was in Louisiana, and I was in New Jersey, and we said, what do we want to do when we grow up? What do we want to look at? And we did research, and we felt that water was going to be the next oil. And some really smart people were saying in the UN, and a gentleman by the name of retired General Russell Honore said, if wars are going to be fought, they're not going to be fought over oil, they're going to be fought over water. And we started looking and seeing that we've taken decades of the engineers' creed. The solution to pollution is dilution. Take all these bad, nasty chemicals, throw it in a big bottle of water, dilute it down to what the government tells you. Hey, this is safe to drink. This is the minimum risk level is the wonderful term that
minimum risk level. Holy shit!
Minimum risk. Don't worry about it, Flint. No, it's not really groundwater that you're coming out of your faucet. It's fine. We've got all the studies that will promise you. And so we just felt that we see all of this coming from groundwater, but we realize that 3.8 quadrillion gallons of water, it's a number that's finally bigger than our national debt, with 3.8 quadrillion gallons of water is in our atmosphere. And that due to the properties of water, we've had the same amount of water, right, since the Earth was formed. But when water goes from a gas form to a liquid form, it's pure. How do you distill water? You boil it, you capture the steam, you bring the steam, and you put it to liquid water, and it's pure drinking water. So why not capture that water in the air and do it in an efficient, economical way? And, what we say that all those filters are trying to take out of groundwater is never in our water. So then we started... once we started building them, and we wanted to bring the manufacturing to the United States, because this is back in 2008 when we had the huge economic downturn, and any recovery requires jobs, right? And so we that job, U.S. jobs were important. We've become a banking and service company, and shipped all of our jobs to China, and see how well that's done for us. So we decided to manufacture here and do a sort of revolutionized revolutionary patent to keep the water pure, because we're starting with pure water using ozone. And so we now have the patent on ozone and atmospheric water generators that not only provide the purest water, but also the most highly oxygenated water, because the ozone's O3, 1,900 times more powerful of a water purifier than chlorine, and it's natural. It's not.
That's
Hey,
amazing.
let's put more chemicals in the water to kill
That's
the chemicals
right.
that were put in the water before for the chemicals of the chemicals. And the fact that we've become a pharmaceutical company. You think about all the women on birth control pills, all the pills that everyone's taking, and 90% of that is urinated out of your body and goes into the water source. So we have fish that don't know whether they're male or female. So it's not surprising what's going on today in society after decades of this being dumped into our water, right? So, but you asked the question why we got into this. We saw this coming. I mean, when I grew up, I'm a little older than you. I used to drink water out of a garden hose, playing sports outside.
Yes.
You ever told me, hey, I got a deal for you. Let's invest in bottled water. I would have said, what are you smoking in the back there? Get out of here. I can get my water here. Bottled water company did a great job of explaining what we've done to our water sources, but they only told you half the story, because all they're doing is filtering it a little bit more and putting it in a plastic bottle that's breaking down in nanoplastics. I mean, 10 years ago, I was telling people this, and they were saying that, get your tin hat off. You're trying to sell machines. That plastic's not breaking down. Well, I knew one thing. If I could take a case of water, I told all my salesmen before they went out, case of water, put it outside in the sun for a week, it'll raise the TDS 150 parts per million.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't take a rocket science. The only thing that's touching that water, it's sealed, is plastic. So if the total dissolved solids, which is a measurement of what's in your water, it doesn't tell you what chemical is in it. It just tells you anything. It's a simple $19, that anyone can see how much bad stuff's in my water. And if you could raise it 150 parts per million by putting sealed bottled water in sun, I think that the plastic's breaking down. I mean, I'm not as smart, man, but I just think
yes, that is awesome. We have got a fantastic guest with us today. He joins us live here on our big broadcast, and he's talking about some incredible things. So what has been the feedback that you've gotten on all this, my man?
Well, I'll tell you what. I wrote a blog last month about being the perfect storm. When you're a disruptive technology and you're battling, the behemoths, the Pepsis, the Cokes, the bottled water industry. I mean, now bottled water is the #1 beverage in the world. Like, whoa, think about that. And so the feedback at first was, attacks on, it's just a dehumidifier, which it's not. Not understanding the properties of water. But now we've gotten an education. Now we've gotten, people like Amy Grant has used our machine, providing water for underprivileged kids to go to summer camp out on their farm in Franklin, Tennessee, who's, family member works for Franklin Water Authority and tested our water and came back and said, Amy, this water is gold. We had Joe Keefe, who uses it, and they funded the first disaster relief trailer at the Maui wildfire. So really, and now the that you talked about Periscope not being around because he has it's a car company, but it's really, it's just a cool way. It's all about battery storage, right? That's the thing that really hurts. So he sells cars, but it's really all about developing the storage. And storage has helped the alternate energy, which has really helped our business as well, because now we can set up anywhere. I mean, our newest disaster relief trailer has a 60 kW battery storage and can make 220 gallons a day of water anywhere as we're going down the road. So that's pretty powerful. And when you consider that the Red Cross says 70% of their manpower and 70% of their warehouse space is taken up by water because it's so bulky and heavy, when you can make the water on site and not have to ship it. And let's face it, the disaster relief industry is the highest carbon rated industry because everything's rushed to get in. You're flying everything in, you're trucking everything in, and when you can now take these diesel generators and put them as a secondary in case there's a lot of clouds and really have a hybrid system out there, because this whole thing of getting rid of fossil fuels right away, man, it takes time, and there's nothing more reliable than that.
Yes.
Okay? Let's integrate. Let's take steps. And number two, the grid's not ready for that. So we find that common sense isn't so common anymore. But education is the key to make that happen, and that's one of the things that we're going to be doing. So we're going to be taking this disaster relief trailer beginning on the opening of hurricane season, and we're going to take it from New Jersey, my 40th high school reunion. It's going to provide all the water for that, and then we come from New Jersey, from Hightstown. I'm going to get on an electric bike with my dog Max and go all the way down the eastern seaboard.
That's awesome.
Raising money for charities that have helped us, footprintproject.org, Project Vision Hawaii, the Mind Army, all of these visionaries, 501c3s that have really change the mindset and change the way people think. And we're going to go on an education tour and have some fun.
That is amazing. We have got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here on our big broadcast, Altitude Water. They are unveiling an innovative disaster relief trailer. It basically transforms the humidity in the air into pure drinking water for emergencies, all sorts of different things. And,
for your home.
The website, altdwater.com. And just absolutely amazing stuff. We have got just an amazing guy with us today. Jeff joins us talking a little bit about this incredible business. What has been some of the challenges that you've run into with this thing, man?
As I said, anytime you're taking on big company behemoths that want to grab all this water and make $5,000 or 5,000% increase in selling a bottle that they say is being recycled, but we can just look out in our ocean and see an island the size of Texas and growing larger of plastics dissolving. That has been one. The other has been supply chain. In COVID, with supply chains were really difficult. And getting the message, for small emerging growth technology companies, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. But finding the right partners, finding that capitalization that I'm not giving my kidney out for, and my third born, along with my first and my second born, and so all of those things that anyone you think about taking the concept on a piece of paper, a patent, and making it functionable and making it so that people go, hey, this is easy to use in my home. I mean, you look at, our first unit 15 years ago, which it's funny because we buy our bolts from a company called Broward Bolt here in Florida, and you go into their store, and our first run, they had one of the machine. It's still there, and I look at it like it's dinosaur. The filter, the mineral filters are inside, and I look at all the different things that we've changed and upgraded and designed. The guys that work in my shop, awesome guys. Our team has been together for 15 years, so we've had a vision. I mean, you look at Alvaro da Silva and Jamie Ditzler, our HVAC tech and our ozone purification specialist. they've just done some amazing things, and they deserve a lot of credit. They became owners this year. After 15 years, we gifted them each a percentage of the company for the hard work that they've done. So, building a team, keeping it together. Again, an entrepreneur sees a need and then tries to solve the need, and getting from here to there is not as easy as everyone thinks. It's times where you're going a couple months on ramen noodles because you can't get the stuff and you can't sell, and I got to pay the guys, but my father and I can't get paid, or the management can't get paid. All the things that you go through. But if you have belief in something, and you believe that there's a purpose for it, and you believe that once people start getting it, I view it as sort of like the microwave oven, right? No one really realizes, but the microwave oven was founded in 1943.
Wow,
okay?
I did not know that.
Yeah, by the military, and it took all of those decades for it to get smaller and to a price point, that the public could have it at, and Sony did that. Sony was the company that actually. And we're at that point now with atmospheric water generators, where now they were big, they were bulky, they were noisy, and over these 15 years we've been able to get it down to where it's in your kitchen. And I'm traveling now. I'm up in New Jersey. I'm doing a water day or Earth Day. Being a speaker on a panel with indigenous Mohawk Indians and stuff like that, talking about water in New York City, and I miss my machine because I can taste the plastic, so it's just it's been an incredible journey, and the education is really, like I remember with microwave ovens, I'm not going to nuke my food, that's nuclear,
yes,
the science
very
behind
much so.
it, right? And so what we like to say, I look at our machines. We make water with technology licensed from Mother Nature. Okay, it's the water cycle, it's ozone, it's to raise the pH to get alkaline. We're not moving electrons around and ionizing the water. We're putting minerals in it. We're putting calcium and magnesium. So one of our filters is actually putting stuff into the water because our water is so pure, and wanting to get the pH to an alkaline level of about 8.2. So, listening to what the public tells us on how they wanted the machine. We're doing a project in Maka, Cameroon. We're providing 1,000 gallons of water for a village. A village that loses 5 to 8. That is a village of about 1,000, and they lose 5 to 8 people a year to waterborne related diseases because the women travel 4.8 kilometers down to the river now, where people right up the river are washing their clothes and they're getting drinking water out of that same river. So, but again, you ask what's difficult. Effective charity. We can all have charity. We can all see, when Flint, Michigan happened, and I say this a lot, and I'm not bad-mouthing it because anyone that takes $1 million to help someone, but Cher announces $1 million worth of bottled water to go to Flint, Michigan. Well, that water is gone in a week. Okay.
Yes.
There's a plastic catastrophe now of $1 million worth of plastic bottles that they have to get rid of. She gets the headlines, and she sells tickets to her tour, which was 3 months later. And again, I'm not saying that takes a lot to do, but it is an effective charity. Does it effectuate change? Is there a theory of change that's going to help the people of Flint that now just had 3 weeks of water, and now they're looking for the next water? I use if someone's hungry, you give them a fish, they're going to eat for a day. If you teach them the fish, they're going to eat for a lifetime. So, again, these women, what are you doing now that you're giving them 4 hours a day that they're not collecting water? Well, you got to give them skills. You got to give them programs, give them beading. You allow them to help their kids and get Wi-Fi so you can have online training, so you can train in HVAC, so you can train. All of these things have to incorporate just giving water, because if you don't affect the theory of change, you're not going to do anything. I'll never forget the story that David Meyer, Joyce Meyer's son, when he took over Hands of Hope. He's like, I had the best job in the world. I get to give away money to help people. And he goes, I'll never forget going down to the Dominican Republic, and I had this wonderful idea. I'm going to give them chickens because they're going to end up having eggs for the rest of the time. He goes, I was so proud of myself. I came back on the plane, seeing all these chickens. He goes, 6 months later, I go down, and all the coops are empty. And I looked at them, I said, what'd you guys do? They said, oh, well, the leader's daughter was getting married, so we have to throw a party. It's our tradition. So we cooked all the chickens. And he said, it was then he realized, yeah, but for a party. So he goes, then I realized this wonderful idea I had didn't take into consideration who I was dealing with, what their traditions are, what their thought processes were, and them not understanding that by cooking that chicken for one good time, you're losing 10 years of eggs. So he goes, you have to educate. He goes, and that was my first lesson when I took this over my mom's charity. So it's something that's always stuck with us, work with World Vision. So what's the theory of change? What are you trying? You can feed the physical, but if you don't take care of the mental and the spiritual, you're not doing anything but a short-term kicking the can down the road.
Yes. We have got a tremendous guest with us today. He joins us live here on our big broadcast. So before we let you go, how do we get in touch with you online and social media, the websites, everything?
Okay, so our website is altdwater.com. We are also revamping the website. We have also partnered with a wonderful company called New Use Energy, who provides solar systems, solar and battery storage systems. Awesome. So a lot of our customers now that have bought our T12s are now buying a 3651, and it's a tarp. Okay, that
it's a tarp.
Yeah, you can actually fold up.
That's
the tarp
amazing,
in your car and go and it's awesome. So look at that. We're revamping it. We're including more stuff. We're when you see a video, whatever your political is, I don't care, but people are dying and war's horrible. When you can see a C-section being done when the grid was knocked out in Ukraine because of their solar generator being able to run the equipment, and the doctor saying awesome. This baby wouldn't have been. Now that's awesome. That again, that's awesome stuff. So we've partnered with them. We are our YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, so right now I'm up here for the Rotary and the Women Water Festival, where I'm a speaker. I'm going down to Nashville to Amy Grant's farm to upgrade her system. She's doing a retreat for homeless, and she actually wants, because she has sulfur water, she wants our machines to hook up to the showers so the homeless can take a shower in ozonated water. So
that's amazing.
That's going to be unbelievable. And to be able to spend time fellowshipping with someone with a heart like that and learning, those are the types of things that rejuvenate us to fight the battles, because you got to fight the battles.
Yes. Yes.
No one wants to give us this when you're saying don't buy Coke and Dasani's. You buying it, it's giving them their 20th plane. Us, we're just trying to send our kids to dance lessons. And go living and change the world and change this horrible thing that we've done to our earth. I took this speaking engagement because I remember growing up and seeing that Indian, looking at this beautiful earth, and then seeing these kids go by and throwing all this garbage, and he starts crying. They understood that this earth is.
I loved the Indian ad, man.
Right, we don't inherit the earth from our grandfathers. We keep it for our children, right?
Yes,
that's
very much
the way
so.
We're supposed to think about it. It's on all social. So our YouTube channel, Altitude Water. Please go and subscribe to it. There's some incredible videos on it. We just uploaded the disaster relief trailer. I believe Mind Army today is releasing a video that they're doing that will be on there. And we're on Facebook, Instagram, X,
all the various places.
Altitude Water. Just look us up and please and become a water warrior. So we're, whether it's cleaning up your ocean or, we're 72% water. We should be concerned about what's happening. We should be concerned about the fact that the government just wants to put fluoride in it, that we're not smart
Yes.
enough that we decide to brush our teeth. But fluoride's a poison. Okay, so
Yes.
why are you putting fluoride in our water? No one can explain that.
You're saying everything we say on this program, brother. You are amazing.
How about I sat there in Maui and they're talking about lithium. They wouldn't let people in their houses because of the air testing for lithium. And I knew the answer. I'm sitting there with FEMA and everyone. I go, well, what did you test? What was the testing for lithium in the water? And they go, well, we didn't test it. I go, why not? They go, well, the EPA, it's on the UGMA5. For 20 years, they've been renewing this thing to try and determine. And I'm like, well, if it's in the air, it's in the water, but you're not testing for it, right? Well, it's the EPA's responsibility. It's not ours, and they're not giving us what a safe level is. It's like, am I really hearing this?
Just
again,
insane
like
to me.
I'm not smart enough that if I want fluoride, I can get a toothpaste with fluoride in it. You got to put it in my water.
It's insane. Well, really, Jeff, hold on, because I want to talk to you about something off air. But this has been a fantastic interview. I hope to do more of these with you, sir. You are amazing. We are going to take a brief timeout. When we come back, we have got more coming up here on your world famous Jiggy Jaguar Radio Broadcast.